What is up, everybody? Everybody. We are, Jonathan and I are up in Franklin, the border. I think we crossed into North Carolina. Went up 985 all the way. And we're going to go hit Warwoman Road and then 28, the other side of the Hellbender, and head up into Highlands, North Carolina. Cool little town. Stopped there for lunch. Warwoman is a really fun little ride. We are not going to go crazy on the speed because I haven't been up here in a while. I don't really know the road as well as I used to. It's been a while. That's the road where my Speed Triple RS caught on fire. Stupid K&N oil filter blew, busted a nut. The nut that you weld, it's welded onto the for wrenching it on and off easily. It went and come undone. Spot welding burned through the casing. All of a sudden the pressure blew half my oil all over the back frickin' tire. I mean dripping oil, not like oil in the tire. I mean tire is soaking wet with oil. Made it to the end of the road before I even realized what happened. And that was literally the bike that made me understand the benefits of modern electronics and traction control and stability and all that kind of stuff. ABS, and ABS didn't kick in on that one. Well, actually it did on the rear. So all those things, if you do use a tap or rear brake in a panic brake situation, or if you trail brake, or you ride your back brake into the turn or whatever, yeah, you can absolutely lock the back wheel up when it's covered in hot, wet, synthetic motor oil. I mean, it was the whole back of the bike. But driving along, it was coming out the oil filter, and the wind was catching it as you're rolling along the road and blasting it all on the underside of the bike in that tire. And I had no idea, other than the fact that like my traction control light kept flickering, and I'm like, what's all this shit? Is it this one? Yeah, Warwoman. Here we go. So anyway, like something feels weird. Like the bike's squirming a little. I'm like, is there gravel, sand in the turns? Like why? Like I don't feel like I'm all over the place, but I'm like something just doesn't feel right. And I keep seeing this light flashing. I never had a bike with electronics before. I wasn't really paying attention to what each little thing was doing. I just had it in sport mode and was doing my thing. I get to the end of the road, pull up to a stop sign. My wife comes in over the communications. She's like, "Get off your bike, you're on fire." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You're putting down oil all over the road behind you." And I guess when we were going fast, didn't see it as much, but as I slowed down, it started like pouring and pooling. Like, I'm like, "Oh shit." So it wasn't flames, but the oil was pouring over the header pipe in the catalytic converter, and smoke everywhere. I'm like, "Oh shit." So Donna and everybody cut their ride short. Rico, let me give Rico a call, see what the hell he's up to. Good dude, very good dude. He stayed there with me, and he and I sat there on my phone watching. I had a copy of not Twist the Throttle, what's the other one, Hitting the Apex with Brad Pitt, like documentary about MotoGP. Really, really good. If you haven't watched it, do so. So we sat there on the side of the road on my phone watching that, and I got home and I was picking ticks off my leg. So Rico was a trooper. We sat there. It was 2 hours or an hour and a half for my wife to get back and grab my truck and the ramps and the wheel chalk and shit and come back and pick me up. Rico left me for a little bit, went into town to get some drinks on his bike and pick up a cigar, and that was our afternoon. So this is that road. It's a phenomenal road. I do wish it was a little warmer, but it's supposed to be like partly sunny and 82 today, but actually yesterday was sunny and hotter. I won't do a lot of commentary once I get up here because I don't have much I want to talk about today. not going to do political stuff. It just seems to annoy everybody, which is a shame. If I had a whole bunch of anti-Trump rhetoric and hatred for Elon, I'm sure I'd get a huge boost to my ratings and not have to put up with the verbal abuse. But it is what it is. So we're on the mighty ZX10, running the stock tires. I think they're RS11s, Bridgestones. They're a decent enough tire, but they're not awesome. Another couple weeks and I'll have these off in Michelin Road 6s. Much better tire. Still good enough for a track day, but way better day to day. Warm up quickly. Their operating temperature is much lower than a full-on sport bike tire. And if it's wet, so much better. So much confidence in those tires in the wet. They're just amazing. All right, we need to get around this guy. I'm sure he'll let us go. Dankeschön. So it's a nice little country road here, like a little country lane. It's a lot like 180, Route 180 up in Suches. It's also called Wolfpen Gap. This will be very much like that. It's going to be like a roller coaster, up and down, switchbacks, hard braking. Not much in the way of sweepers, or this area's got sweepers. But there's a lot of driveways and there's some farm tractors that sometimes pull out in front of you. So we're not gonna go ripping past these nice people's front doors. We'll try not to be dicks. I want to come up here more often and go up towards the Dragon and stuff. There's just been so much police activity down near us. 2 weekends ago, it was like 17 cop cars we passed in the span of like 9 or 10 or 11 miles. It was absolutely nuts. Multi-departments up there working together. They are just cracking down on antics, and I've been told that they're looking for the cars. Car clubs were the ones they were really after. But if you're up there speeding on one of these at 20 over, you want to make yourself an easy target. So, good. There's a sign to tell us that the road is twisty. Excellent. I would not have known that otherwise. We got Jonathan. Went to a classic car show yesterday. It's a free car show at this classic car dealer. And the show was like a third of the car were Corvettes, a third of the car, the parking lot was Corvettes. A shit ton of C8s. I love my car. I think it's the best bang for the buck if you want a mid-engine supercar on a, decent budget. Look no further than a C8. But it also reminded me, like, wow, these are so common. But whatever. But the real part of the show that was interesting was it's a dealership. And they have this massive, massive warehouse. They probably had, like, I don't know, 70 cars in there. GTOs, old Porsches, Mercedes. There was some $500,000 Mercedes, like 350 SLR race car, like, old Fiat's Triumph TR6s, MGBs, just some really cool stuff. Nothing I'd want to own, other than like the little MGs or a TR6. If I was going to buy a classic car, I don't like classic. I like them, but I wouldn't want to own a classic car. They had a 427 cubic inch, I don't know if it was a 66 or 67 Corvette, and obviously iconic, work of art. But I know up on a road like this, a V6 Camry with decent tires that run circles around it. So you spend more time wrenching on it, afraid to scratch it. So I just like I like newer stuff and technology. But they were absolutely gorgeous to look with. Old Buicks, 57 Chevy, old Corvettes. This business had amazing stuff. I was talking to one of the guys there. It was in the car. He drives a 911. His name's Eric. He's going to start joining us riding and stuff. He lives down closer to Atlanta, but rides a Ducati 1098. It's a fantastic bike. We weren't able to get our timing right for today, but we're going to start doing every weekend up here. We're going to do different routes and not the same old route. We're going to do dragon runs. We're going to do weekends up, get an Airbnb up near the Dragon and hit the surrounding roads, go up to Gatlinburg. And try to mix it up a little. Maybe we'll take the cars one weekend. But we've got to grow our group a little. Hopefully Bob will start riding with us. Nick don't have a bike. Jimmy's done with riding. Gravel. Gotta worry about that up here. So me, Jonathan, and Cameron are kind of like the ones that are still riding pretty dang regularly. Cameron and I are the most. We do the most riding, and then Jonathan would be the next. Nico's always busy on weekends. Once in a while we can get him out. And I've been talking to him, like, we used to have a really good riding group, but I've gone through like 6 different riding groups because people just freaking stop riding. They get married or they have a kid, and you just don't see them anymore. And then Jonathan and I were talking, I just went through the list, and I was like, well, Jim's out, Nick's out, Nico is half out, Boston stopped riding, Eric moved away. My wife doesn't ride hardly, that much. Who else did we used to ride with? Over the years, lots of people. And Mike Kopak and Megan and Ron Reddy, Vince. It was like my first kind of group. Mike, my friend Jen, she got out of riding. Allison and Rob. Or before it was Allison and Rob. Allison and I can't remember his name. It's been so long. But we used to have a really good, good groups and stuff. But I don't know. People get older. Scott was starting to ride with us a good bit. But he's got a wife. He got married, and then he has a kid. I don't know. I'm faulting him for it. He got family and stuff to do. It takes priority over, going and playing. But that's kind of what happens. You find a good group of people to ride with, and then they either quit riding or family stuff takes them away from it, and then I got to start all over. Because I don't like riding with just anybody. You got to find people that you like, get along with, but you also got to find riders that are of a good skill. There is a shit ton of gravel up here. We're going to have to be really careful. I'm worried we're going to come around a turn. Because out here, everybody has stone and gravel driveway. Yeah, look at all this shit from the rain. Had some crazy rain. Ugh. Nobody has a paved driveway out here because it's expensive, so all their gravel washes out the frickin' road. Oh, this bike is so much fun. Power on it is just stupid. We're not even to the really good bits of the road yet, but God, look how beautiful it is out here. I mean, I may hate the driveways, but man, it's awesome. Clibbins! It's Clibbins! Damn near had to lay her down, Barb. It's always about the clippings. It is kind of a dick move. It wasn't bad, but I've seen like big giant wet clumps in the turns. That sucks. That's a dick move. But she at least turned the mower off so I didn't get a hit with stuff as I went by. So kudos for that. Gravel. Jesus Christ. There must have been like some massive sheet runoff coming up, because that's like, you get big swaths of gravel across the road like that. The rain up here must have been insane. I'll be honest, I'd much rather be on Jonathan's bike through here. Yeah, now the twisties are picking up. But it is lovely. Warming up a little. No, not really. Basically, you just run this whole road in like one gear. Just pick second or something. Yeah, some of these. I'm trying to remember which one of these. Yeah, some of these. You be careful, you're going straight. I mean, look at this. Up, down. It's like a mini carousel from Laguna Seca. An upright bike would be much more fun on this. Get a better view. Bike like this obviously can handle and turn and corner and all that, but you got to be going really fast speeds, and it's kind of better on sweepers. That street triple is even more nimble, but being upright, you can see through the turns a little easier. Your body position is just a little more optimal, I think. Just flick it and carve it through. I don't know what that is. It's just mush. Problem is right now, and it's a me thing, but because all that gravel back there had me concerned, I'm not doing what I should be doing, which is looking 50 yards up through the turn. I'm scanning the road right in front of the front tire, which throws off your line and makes you slow down. You invariably, if you're trying to watch the road right there, you end up slowing down so you can actually process and see everything. Realizing that I need to force myself to look through the turn and not worry about right there, and just hope that if I'm looking ahead I will catch it earlier. God damn, these turns are crazy. I gotta come out here in the vet. Alright, whole bunch of rocks, so I immediately think, okay, there's gonna be rocks and gravel, and there is, kicking in the middle. Road needs to be repaired. Glad we slowed the pace. A few years ago, it was newer pavement, much better shape, not so much rocks and gravel and shit. Like there's some weird things like that with the road sagging because there's erosion going on under it. Oh, nice. Tree laying over a power line. All right, it should be 28. Yep. So right there is where Rico and I sat for hours. We're going that way, Hoss. All in all, fun road. I would love to have like a Mini Cooper with super sticky tires, man. Little less worried about gravel then. But these roads just flow. Ah, this road is so cool. And everybody says the new Mustangs look like a Camaro, but I still think that looks good. I mean, the Camaro's a good looking car. Was. They don't make them anymore. Although they'll probably bring them back at some point. Hopefully it's on unmarked. Didn't even think of that. Come on, Jonathan. There we go. Oh, Mr. Jeep. Come on, Jonathan, you can cut the corner. Alright, Jonathan, don't do it in front of that car. Alright. I kind of left them being a dick, but it's a really lovely road, and I kind of wanted to enjoy it. What's nice about a road like this is you don't have to go that fast. I mean, it's a 35. Alright, so go through it like 50-ish. Like, you can actually have fun at that speed and enjoy it and play in the twisties, but you're not doing, you know, go to jail speeds. I don't think he got around him at all. God damn, is it beautiful up here. Guess we'll slow down and wait for him and just enjoy the scenery, folks. No lap records will be set today. Oh, there he is. Good, he got around him. I would love, like, this is my ideal setting. If I just had a couple mil in the bank and said, hey, you know what, it's gonna retire. All right, I don't want that house, but I'll set my sights a little higher. But having a place up here, one of these ones that's kind of down its own little private road, go down a couple 100 yards and you got 5 acres. Back up to a hill so you can have a shooting range or something. I would love it. I wouldn't tell anybody where I lived. My friends would come. I'd have a van, like one of those white, you know, free puppy rape vans. Meet them on the main road. And put a blindfold over them and some earplugs, like they're being taken to like a CIA black site. So my friends are okay able to come anytime they want, but I would be taking precautions. Except you, Cameron, of course. Goes without saying. This part of the road is actually nice. Smooth. I just don't know it that well. No idea what's around the corner. What's that? That new Charger? Yeah. Not bad looking. It's a Charger that you actually have to charge. Yeah, that is a decreasing radius. And when you don't know the road, you're enjoying the scenery. I'm like, I kind of set my lean angle and I'm like, let me add a little more, let me add a little more. Jesus Christ, how much more do I have to add? That's a decreasing radius. Those are the kind of things that get you in trouble up here. If you don't know the roads, or you're a newer rider, or you're an experienced rider and you're just not fucking paying attention. Yeah. I am very happy I got the ZX10. This thing is just smooth, creamy, giggity. Just very planted. It's just very well sorted. The fueling's good, although we're going to let Chris Moore take a crack at it, see what else he can wring from it. If we can get any more power, great. I'm really just more about making sure this fueling is on spot on and smoothing it out a little bit. I didn't get this tuned. All I did was de-restricted it. Get rid of the throttle limitations and torque limiters. And the fuel cut. Turned off the fuel cut. And it made a big difference in performance, especially up top. But I think it needs some refinement. So Chris is gonna run it. He's got a tune that for a stock bike that got great results. So we're gonna do it before, and then he's gonna drop that tune in here. We'll rerun it on the dyno and see if it needs any further tweaks, and then we'll do a before and after and kind of see where we landed and see what it's possible to get out of a bike that's otherwise stock. I'm not going to do the Sprint air filter. I'm going to keep it stock. At some point I'll replace it with a BMC street filter. Not interested in intake performance. For an air filter to give you a measurable, significant boost in power, it has to flow considerably more air. There's only two ways to do that. A bigger air filter with more surface area, so you have the same level of filtration, but over a wider area, more volume of air can flow through it. Or it's a stock size filter that just doesn't filter as well. And so, yeah, you pick up 3 horsepower, but you're pulling dust and grit and stuff into your cylinder. And whatever horsepower you gain temporarily, you'll lose later on from degradation of ring seal and compression. So the most I'm going to do for this thing is do the exhaust valve and the cap box removal. I've got 2 of the cats removed, but there's still this big ass heavy box under the bike. So I'll just get a link pipe for like $150 off eBay, bolt it up, and then have him run it. We will get this out on track. If not this spring or summer, we'll do it in the fall. Maybe July 4th weekend. There's usually one through N2. So I think I'll go out there for that. I know I can ask Robert. He'll bump me up in intermediate where Dean and Cameron and folks are. And he offered you last time. I was just like, nah, whatever. I'll worry about it next time. Yeah, look at that. trying to look at it, but not ignore the turns in the road. Yeah, the ride on the interstate to get up here was boring. But man, once you're here, squirrel. Light police presence up here for sure. There usually will be one as you get down into town. But definitely getting colder, man. We are climbing an elevation slowly but steadily. Yeah, dropped 6 degrees since we left the gas station. They'd be asking me, why are you slowing down for the turns? Because I don't know the road. Trust me, I know it myself. I'm like, oh, I wish I could go faster, but I'm not going to risk my life or my bike barreling through a blind turn that I have no idea what happens on the other side. It's one thing, anytime you go through a turn, there could always be a deer there, but if you know the turn, you know the bump, you know where the line is, at least you have the confidence to zip through it at a certain speed, knowing, okay, if there is something, you're going to have to take evasive maneuvers. But trying to take evasive maneuvers or planning for a rabbit or something in the road, or gravel, and trying to figure out what the road's even going to do, and not knowing the speed you can come through it at. It's more stressful than fun, honestly. It's nice to follow a local on roads until you get to know them. Always faster to follow than to lead. Assuming the person you're following isn't slow. Alright, so we just technically entered Highlands, and wow, again, now it's down to 62. Chilly. This time I remembered my antihistamine eye drops because, again, we're summertime in Atlanta. It's already summertime. It's been in the 80s. All the trees, leaves are out in full. You can see up here, there's still buds. So the pollen count up here, we're a month behind right now. We've gone up in elevation and we've also gone north a good bit. So right now we're a solid 3 hours out of Atlanta north at much higher elevation. So the season is about 3 to 4 weeks behind. So all the pollen I was dealing with a month ago in Atlanta and finally just got over. But we're not done with you yet. Note to self to check my chain tension. Thought I just tightened it last week. I feel a little bit of driveline lash. Yeah, so down there there's a pizza place, or maybe it's down that road. But I want to go downtown, a nice little cafe or something. Alright, so it looks like kind of a beer pub place to eat. Ugly Dog Public House. Go down. A lot of parking, huh? Is it because places aren't open on Sundays? Hoopnet. So let's see. Let's look for a place to eat. I think let's go make a left here. There'll be somewhere to eat in here. I'm gonna walk from there. It's a nice day. When it's summertime and 97 degrees and humid, not as much fun to walk around, but anyway, I got nothing else to say. If I get some video later, if we're on another twisty road, we'll catch you up then. If not, have a good one. So we're coming back from Highlands. We're on Route 28, which, if we were to follow it all the way through up the other way, would take us into Franklin. I think Franklin, North Carolina. It's weird because you think, well, north is north of south, but in that corner they kind of come together, and you kind of go back and forth between them, and you don't remember which one you're in. But that would take you to Franklin, and that becomes the Hellbender. That's the road we take into Fontana, into the gravel getting washed out. Take you to the Dragon. You got this guy sitting out in the middle of the fucking road, because why not? Oh, just stop and have a conversation. I wish I knew this road better. This would be a great road. The pavement here is pretty good, as long as there's no gravel. But it's a nice flow. I just, coming the other way, I got stuck in a decreasing radius, and I was too busy talking and didn't realize it. Didn't go over the line or run wide. I was, able to navigate it, but it was like sweepy, sweepy, tightening, tightening. Holy shit, that's tight. With no warning. That's why don't push yourself on roads like this. There's a lot of driveways coming in and out. Wilbur will be out there talking to his buddy. Gravel everywhere. And some of these roads, or some of these turns, will sneak up on you. So maybe we'll just enjoy the scenery. It is so gorgeous up here. I love this area. This is the kind of area I'd love to retire to. flashing, so that was either an unmarked or he's letting us know there's a cop up here. Either way, we'll take the advice and drop it down for a little bit. Oh well, we don't want to really go fast anyway. But man, this is such a good little stretch of road here. Oh, maybe that's where he's letting us know. Maybe it wasn't an unmarked. He's letting us know there's a fucking hound dog running around. Poor little guy. It sucked to come flying around the turn and connect with a dog. Not good for me or the dog. Did that once. I had a 2010 Ducati 848 Nicky Hayden edition that Nicky had hand signed personally on the tank and a paint marker, and then they cleared over it. Special paint livery from his MotoGP. Did Nicky win a world title in MotoGP? He did for Repsol Honda. I'm trying to think if he did. I don't think he did for Ducati. He did well. He was winning some races with Ducati. But they did his custom paint livery, and I bought one that was, I think, only $150 for the US market. I was lucky enough to get one, and 5 weeks later had a dog about that size, only not just passively walking down the road, came out of just out of the side from a side yard, full tilt run, trying to catch the bike, and ran headfirst into the front wheel, knocked the front wheel out from under me. Went down on the left side, destroyed the left side of the bike, did $7,500 damage. Keep in mind, that's 2010 money, so that's like $3 million today. Whatever. Said no more politics. Separated my shoulder bad. I didn't quite dislocate it, but I like 80% dislocated it. Ripped and pulled tendons and ligaments. I was in agony for like 6 months, which really sucks when you can't take painkillers. Allergic to opioids. So, alright, this road I don't know at all. And the dog got up, kind of shook it off, and bolted off. Like, you little shit. Insurance was able to replace the plastics, and luckily the tank that was the signed piece did not get a scratch on it. But the exhaust, the left-hand side, the left can, the clip-on, the mirror, everything on the left side was just. The bike didn't have frame sliders on those. Just the way they build them. There's no real good way to put. You have to cut holes in the fairings and shit. This is absolutely gorgeous. I've got to learn this road and spend more time on it, and then come up in the car. I think the Corvette would be so much fun on these roads. All that lateral grip, those steamroller sized tires, width, not height, obviously. God, the pavement is beautiful. It's so smooth and flowing. That would be a good place for a cop to wait. Come around the turn and pick you off. I don't know where we are. I know I just didn't want to take 985 the whole way home from Clayton. Oh, Babbling Brook. Alright, now we're back. So we're in Georgia, and now we're back in South Carolina. It's a really weird thing where the corners hit. We went from North Carolina to Georgia to South Carolina in the span of 9 miles. As we head back to Georgia. I was in Georgia, and then I left it, and then we'll return to it. Kooky, right? I've been very impressed with this bike. Yeah, it's crazy fast in a straight line. It's up there with Panigales and S1000RRs. They're all within, 2% of each other. But honestly, it's in the turns and stuff where it really feels good. It's just so planted, very sure-footed, not too light and agile and where it's twitchy. But you're not unlike the ZX10R where you got to really haul that weight into the turns. It's very neutral. It's just a lovely bike on a lovely day. A lovely part of the country with a lovely Jonathan riding behind us. Bug fly up in my helmet was sitting on my cheek, tickling me. Very distracting.